One, two, one, two.
1 2 1 2 1 2 1 2. What's a podcast? What's a podcast? 1 2 1 2. We are back. DJ Jerome Baker the third. Shout out to my guy. Always available. Hashtag She or Eddie and Abdul.
It's crickets for Eddie, man. What's up?
Listen, 2 weeks in a row. Eddie is just
Hey,
he put the cash before the homies. You know what I'm
it's
saying?
also 420.
Today is
He's engaging.
420. He is
Th-
sitting on a mountain. He is sitting on a mountain of green, literally and figuratively.
Yeah,
Because in DC it is legal to partake in the marijuana.
on
Therefore,
the commercial, on the business
on the
side, as
business
well as
side,
on the
commercial
personal
side,
side.
yeah. So Eddie is just a
He's very busy.
man of the green. We'll say.
Yeah, he's sitting
Nevertheless,
on a kilogram of. Hey,
shout
yo.
out to always available hashtag She or Eddie.
This is our
He,
fault. We should not be taping on 420. This was an oversight. We should have known better. Eddie, we apologize.
and he did call it. He was like, He said we might be pretty busy.
He's like, I'm gonna be smoked out.
And then he was like, I got slammed. Pause. So
I got slammed. Hey,
Pause.
yo.
Hey, yo, pause. So either way, it's Wednesday, April 20th.
We're here.
A lot of marijuana partaking in. My building smells like weed. I was on 14th Street earlier today. Smells like weed all up and down. People just smoking in the air, like really celebrating this shit.
I went down to H Street, and H Street, just smelled like chocolate tie.
There's two. That's like classic 90s rapper weed. There's two.
Yeah.
There's 3 dispensaries between my spot and 14th Street, right? Like on Park Road, there's 3 dispensaries. The lines for the dispensaries started this morning, like at 9, 10 o'clock in the morning. I went there. I went to Target after I dropped my daughter off at school, and the amount of people that were just out there waiting, I was just like, yo, this is insane. Like, I would have thought you would have been prepared ahead of time.
Yeah,
you know
like if you're a smoker, like you don't want to be waiting in line. Like if it's 420 on 419, 418, you're like, yo, let me get things right. So I don't have to deal with the headache.
Like, would today be the day you smoke like the best weed ever, like the strongest, most expensive weed? Is that like your salute? Would you be like, I'm about to get like the shit that's like dumb expensive?
Yeah, I
like
think
the
so.
shit that'll cripple you. Like
I don't smoke, so maybe actually neither of us smoke, so we might not be the best people to answer this. But I would think yes. I want the.
I feel like today is like Air Max Day for smokers. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
Like you bring out your best weed.
You gotta come out with the
Air
heat.
Maxes. You gotta come out the fire.
You gotta come out with the fire.
And then, like, do you get on live, smoke it, and just look stuck for an hour, like 4 hours? Is that?
I don't think you get on
do?
live. I think you just want to engage with other people. Like
that's how you engage on live.
IRL.
Oh, okay. Oh, did you know that? And obviously, our it's on the way, people. Episode 165. You can now go live on Patreon.
Oh, really? Wait.
Yeah.
Using the Patreon app, you go live.
Yeah. Within the Patreon app, it's built in now.
Oh wow! Okay.
If you have a large following,
as we do,
we can now go live on Patreon.
That might be something like a Patreon move right there. Smoke and talk to the people then.
On Patreon exclusive.
Patreon. Yeah.
But I mean, that's Eddie. Eddie would hold that down because I'm not a smoker. Neither are you.
Yeah.
Shout out to DC. The weather was actually pretty decent today. It was a lot warmer than I thought. It wasn't that warm. It was very sunny though. It felt like it's warmer day than it was.
It started out cold. I'll be honest, because I went running this morning and it was 33 degrees.
Oh, it was dumb cold outside. Yeah, it was dumb cold. But
I sent the kids to school in full jackets,
bubble coats.
But after that, it did warm up. It went up to like 59, which is decent and sunny with the sun. That always helps. So,
I'm definitely that parent that sends my daughter to school with like too many jackets. Like,
me too.
T-shirt, hoodie, bubble coat,
extra mask,
something over your. Oh yeah, mask for sure. But like something over your ears. You know what I mean? And then like we get to school and there's like colonizer kids wearing shorts and T-shirts and like a vest. I'm just like, what are y'all doing?
Complete opposite.
They're the complete opposite. Like their parents just don't be caring, bro. I'm just like, all right, like little Johnny's about to be in a bad place. So obviously, there's a lot going on. Last week we had a stellar Darla Nikki.
Yo, Darla Nikki was popping
It was
last
so
week.
popping last week.
We had a good time.
We being me, you, and Silent Tom.
Super producer Silent Tom came out last night. He was on the streets heavy.
Last week.
Yeah, last week.
Street where Eddie did not make it. He just played.
He was supposed to come out. I think he just passed. He might have been smoking again.
Yeah, for sure. But
Smoker
it was a banger. Eddie. If you're in DC, Darla Nikki next Wednesday, Capo, April 27th should be a banger again.
But wait, you got some tonight though.
Tonight we got Darla Nikki at Flash, which is like a house dance music venue here in DC. And we're support, so we're like the opening act for this dude Vendetta. So he's dope. He's a very dope DJ, black dude from the West Coast, I believe.
And what does he play? He doesn't play hip hop though.
Nah, all dancey stuff. So it's cool. So it's kind of right in our Darla Nikki lane. So it should be cool. It should be fun.
So when you go to play tonight, are you playing hip hop or are you playing like club music?
No, we're playing like club dance music. Yeah. So some new stuff that I've been working on. Some new Darla Nikki tunes that we've been working on collectively, and then just some good stuff. I think we're gonna get a good turnout. We've had a lot of people inquiring today about tickets and when do we start?
Oh, it's a ticket situation.
We're maturing here. We're growing. The brand is
all right.
The brand is going up.
What's up with Silent Tom's music? I know he's been making some music. He's been sharing it with you?
No. Well, yeah, but only with me. He doesn't share it with the world. Like Silent Tom is the most talented. I tell Tom this all the time.
Oh my
Tom
God.
is the most talented producer and probably the best DJ in DC. And has been that way for at least a decade.
Yeah.
But, you know what I'm saying? Everybody moves at their own pace. And at this point, all I can do is respect it. I used to get a little frustrated because I was like, bro, you're so talented, you need to share it. But at this point, there's no point in like badgering somebody to do something they're not comfortable doing. You just got to let them ride out. Artists are all different. You know what I mean? Me personally, if I get something that's like 50%, then I'm like, yo, boom, new shit. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, here you go, world. You know what I mean? So speaking of, I just put a new mix out today, live from church on Sunday. I crushed it.
How was church on Sunday this past Sunday?
It was fantastic.
Which was a holiday, right? Emancipation Day.
A lot of the homies, a ton of the homies came out.
I wanted to come out, man. Really I was exhausted though. I went Easter Sunday. What did I do? Oh, I went to friend of the show, Clark Kent's house for Easter Sunday.
Nice.
So the family and I went up there and we hung out there pretty much all day and then drove back. And I wanted to come by church on Sunday, but I just lost focus.
I knew it was popping when Big Akil walked in. You know what I'm saying? Big Akil walked in. I was like, Big Akil got a table and a bottle. I said, in St. X? I said, oh yeah. I'm honored. I got to show out now. You know what I mean? So,
I went by his party Friday night, actually, at
Officina.
Yeah.
So, shout out to everybody involved with church, Darla Nikki. Things are just. We had Saturday night at Eaton.
A movie? Is that? Are you still? Are people still saying that?
Yeah, I
always hated that. You got to cut
movie,
that out.
Because we went to
a Zuvi.
They went till 3, but we was in the streets till 4:30 that night. Like it was just, we did a lot.
Are you going out to eat afterwards or no?
No. So I stayed at Eaton until about 2:15, and then it was my homegirl's birthday. So she was like, Jerome, we still trying to keep party. It was good. I was like, oh, I'll go to I'll go to St. E's with y'all. So I made sure that. Not at all.
Oh, okay.
So I made sure they got into St. E's because, at that point they're charging $60, $70 to get in. It's 5 women. I'm like, nah, these are homegirls. Like, it's whatever. The list. So, boom, got them in. And then we just proceeded to have a good time. And then just, I have a good relationship with the team over there. So it allowed me to basically stay. We stayed in there for a while. So it was a good time. So good weekend ahead, man. I think, it's just DC's warming up. I think it's 70 something this weekend.
This week was complete shitty weather, man. I actually went to the White House on Monday for the Easter egg roll.
Nice.
Which was the first Easter egg roll I've been to since Obama left office. So what was that, 2016?
Yeah.
Um,
well, I think this was the first one they've had since then. Actually, wasn't
no,
it?
they've had it. Trump had it while he was in office,
Okay.
but this is the first one I think they've had since 2020.
Gotcha.
Sorry, since 2019, because 2021 was canceled because of COVID.
Right.
Last year was canceled because of COVID, and so this was the first one that they actually had in 2 years. Um, Unfortunately, the weather was so terrible, man. It was like 43 degrees, so it was already cold. We got in there like around we were like the 11:30 or 12 o'clock time slot. Walked in. As we're walking up, it started raining. So I'm like, all right, maybe it's a quick little drizzle. It's gonna go away in like 5-10 minutes. Nah, homie, this junk was ready, just stuck around, man. It was just constantly raining. So we didn't stay long, man. It was just one of those things. I'm like, yo, I'm not willing to deal with all of this. And luckily, my wife agreed, and so did the kids. So yeah, we just got up out of there, man. Just bounced, went to the Hamilton and ate some food, and called it a day. Yeah.
I want to say Saturday. I've had some my days have been really thorough recently, but Saturday I went to GW, had a lecture from this guy Dan Charnas. Dan Charnas recently wrote a book about Jay Dilla. So the book is called Dilla Time.
Okay.
And it was it was Dan Charnas. It was this black woman reporter from Detroit. I forget her name, and it was an artist by the name of Robert Glasper who was performing at the Kennedy Center that night.
Yeah.
And so they just did about an hour and a half conversation about Jay Dilla. The book is sold out across the country, but they had books for sale, and it was you also were able to get it signed by the author. So that was super, super, super dope. Stereo, matter of fact, happy birthday, Stereo Faith. His birthday just passed.
The homie.
But
okay.
Steve Stereo Faith met me there, and we both just enjoyed the conversation. Saw a bunch of other DC folks, you know what I'm saying, in there. RBI was DJing, and it was just a dope. It was like Parents Weekend at GW, and I was just like, I felt so old but young at the same time because I was like, this is gonna be me soon, right? Like walking around campus, like, show me your dorm, like, show me the yard where you kick it, like, you know what I'm saying? Show me the parts of campus that I don't want you to go to because that's where like the football players are. You know what I'm saying? Like, stuff like that. I just was just like, oh my god, it was just it hit Steve and I at the same time. We had like a rush of just like, oh my god, like we're at that age where like
this is gonna be us in a few years.
This is us. Like these students look like children. You know what I'm saying?
Oh my god.
So
life is moving too fast.
Yeah, for sure. So shout out to
rest in peace to K Slay, man.
Yeah, well, I was about to say I was about to say shout out to shout out and rest in peace to K Slay.
Speaking of life.
He had I think it was a 4-month battle with COVID that he recently lost.
Yeah.
And it just was a wake up call. I know him and Kid Capri, I think initially kind of got sick around the same time.
Yeah.
This latest round for Kid Capri said he's called it at least twice. I know he said that he was on Drink Champ saying he's called it at least twice.
He's still not vaccinated, I don't think.
I mean, bro, what other, you know, and everybody has their you know, whatever. I mean, obviously we just saw they lifted the mask mandate while planes were in the air. I saw a video of a stewardess walking down the aisle with a plastic bag and was like, if anybody wants to throw their mask away, they can do it. People were cheering. People were like hugging each other. I was like, oh yeah, I'm keeping my mask on for at least the next 2 years because of this fuck shit.
I just don't think I'm going to go back to without a mask, especially on a plane.
Even
though they do say that the filtration system that is on planes is way more superior than it is on land and like even in hospitals. But still, you're still on a tube, so that air is recycled and things like that. I'm okay with keeping a mask on. It's never been a thing that's bothered me. It doesn't affect my breathing, as some people complain about. So to be safe, I'm just going to try to keep others' germs away from myself. So, yeah, now my mask is staying on.
Wait. People say that they can't breathe with the mask or with the filter.
No, with the mask on. You know how Republicans have been complaining about that since day one.
Listen, man, a lot's been going on in the world. Obviously, we also see that Netflix has lost 2 million. Is preparing to lose 2 million people.
Why?
Because they're just they don't have good content at the moment, and I think they're blaming on the pandemic and people sharing passwords.
Oh, I thought
So
you were about to say they were blaming it on Dave Chappelle.
no. They're about to lose a bunch of people. They lost 55 billion in market value, just today alone. They're gonna lose all those
Wow.
customers. They lost 200,000 people the first quarter of the year. So we're seeing that going on. We're seeing Disney versus the governor of Florida because he has a "Don't Say Gay" bill and Disney's not going for it, and so he stripped Disney of a bunch of protections and sort of like special statuses that they had.
That dude is the
Uh,
fucking devil. What?
and the thing about it is Disney pays the most tax in Central Florida, and they
Wow.
they employ 70,000 people. The
Yeah.
governor, who's up for reelection this year, won by 35,000 votes. So
Listen, get
I
him out of there.
if there's one person who I would love to see lose, it would be that
Yeah,
guy
it
because he's
would
the
be that guy.
devil.
Him and
Him,
Mitch McConnell.
well, I just want fuck me, but him and the dude from Texas. I want to see the dude from Texas. He's trash too.
What's that dude's name?
Abbott, not Cruz. Abbott.
Okay.
Abbott's the
Where's
governor
Cruz
of
from?
Texas. He's Texas. He's a senator though.
Oh, okay. I
Whereas
would need
Abbott
him
is
the
the
fuck out of
actual
there
governor.
too.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, you got crazy shit like Utah. Utah made some big transgender bill or some shit like that, and they lied saying it was all these transgender people trying to play sports for high schools. They literally made a bill because of one student, like one student, and they did all that. So these Republican governors are just fucking crazy. But it is what it is.
Yeah.
You colonizers voted for him, so I mean, it is what it is. What's a podcast? Episode 158. We obviously just talked about a lot of good stuff right there. The last week, listen, we posted a video. It was about it was
Oh
about
man.
where we felt the sneaker game was ruined, and we had some great responses. If you don't follow us on Instagram, please do. It's What's a Podcast IG. Look under our Real section, and we were basically saying that we weren't blaming Nike SB. We were saying it started with Nike SB and the phenomenon that was Nike SB in 2002, 2001, when you're looking at, Gino Dunks, Reese Forbes, Richard Mulder, Supers, Chocolates. All those shoes were just the beginning of the Supers Dunk hype.
I think and I think the clip that we posted didn't fully explain what you and Eddie were saying, because you went further on to explain that. I mean, the rarity and the exclusivity of how hard it was to get some of those pairs actually ended up triggering the community to really start seeking them, and which led on to more and more people finding out about it,
Yes,
and then
sir.
more and more people wanting to have them.
Yes, sir.
And then there just were not enough pairs. Yeah, no, I got a lot of feedback on when I posted that clip as well. But everybody kind of had just different opinions, man. Some people blamed it on Nike SB. Some said, it was the forums. One person said it was the growth of the internet and the birth of social media that killed the shoe game. All great points. I think that did play a big part in it too, because you kind of went from wanting a pair and then going outside to rock it and being seen in the streets with that shoe on, to now, if you just show it on the internet, it's kind of like almost the same thing for this generation, right? Like you get that same sort of satisfaction that I probably got from wearing a sneaker that I really, really wanted. Now they get the same satisfaction from maybe just showing it to the internet. Yo, I got it. I have this shoe. And so I think that's a fair point as well. But yeah, I mean, a lot of people reached out, man. Commercialism messed up the sneaker culture. That was the Enigma who wrote that. Jigga wrote that it was the growth of the internet and the birth of social media. Yeah, a lot of people chimed in, man, and gave their opinions on what they thought was that. But yeah, I mean, like we said, it was a loaded question to begin with. There's probably no correct answer except Yeezy 350s, because that's what Eddie said. But No, by the time the Yeezy 350s came out, we were already heading down the wrong way.
Too late.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, again, nobody's answer was wrong because everybody's experiences are different.
Yeah.
And I feel like with, your age and where you live depend on, really play a part in how, when and where you got into sneakers. You know what I mean? And so if you're 25 now, you're not going to have the wherewithal to remember 22 years ago or something like that. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But if you're our age, if you're 40 plus, then you remember some of the first retros and, like you just have a different perspective on things. So everybody had a great opinion. We're going to get our guy who gave an incredible answer, Authentic. Authentic gave an incredibly detailed answer. We're going to have him on the show very soon.
Yeah.
I'd love to get back in person and knock it out. That would be crazy.
I think we need to do that.
That'd be crazy.
Somebody who I respect in the sneaker game, he sent me a DM about this. I don't know if I can actually say his name, but he was very instrumental in the early days of Nike SB and worked on a lot of your favorite collabs, all of our favorite collabs. And his opinion was, I would say the lack of dope new designs from Nike basketball ruined the sneaker culture. Nothing worth flexing about since the foams. Right? I mean, if you think about it,
it's 100% correct. It's 100% correct.
Fair answer, right? Yeah. I mean, you think about it, the foams came out in 97 and everything Nike basketball before that, we rocked it.
Fire.
We rocked it on the streets. You rocked that shit to school, to clubs, every time going out. And you just, you know what I'm saying? The Webbers, the Barclays, the Jason Kidds, you name it. I mean, all that Nike basketball designs and silhouettes back then were so fire that you were forced to wear them. It became part of our culture. Like you had to have those in order to just live, right? So, and you don't get that. You don't get that today. That's gone. That sort of design from those days is over. So I thought that was a interesting take on it as well. I'd never thought of that aspect of it.
It's a tremendous answer. Answer, and it's one that makes you think, and you come to the very quick realization that dude is right.
Yeah,
like Nike basketball. So basically, you're saying Nike basketball hasn't designed a quality shoe to wear on the court and off the court in 25 years.
That's crazy.
Wow.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Nike should be ashamed of themselves for that one right there.
You think about, I mean, even today, you look at all these sneakers that basketball players have their signature shoes on.
No, they're
Who's
terrible.
rocking that shit? They're all performance-based shoes that are worn only on court. LeBron's. Actually, I might see some LeBron's on the street, right? But still, at the end of the day, respectfully, they're trash.
Nah, LeBron's is a heavy ass sneaker. You know, all of them are heavy ass sneakers. I mean, you might have caught people wearing Kobe's in the past, but now you can't even get Kobe's that often. Yeah. So it's such a difficult.
Yeah, I mean, you don't see Kyrie's, KD's.
Nah. Kyrie's are great basketball shoes though. Like amazing.
And I see those on kids, like you know.
Oh yeah, they love them. Yeah, they love to play ball.
I see them on kids in the schools and stuff like that, but an adult wearing a Kyrie, it's maybe like,
your hoop dreams are done.
You don't see it often.
Yeah, nah, you don't see it often. So shout out to everybody who left a comment, like the post. Yeah. Feel free to continue to engage. We're going to continue to post clips of topics that are relevant to us and what we do, what we believe in, where we're from. Patreon will actually, I believe, and this is an exclusive. You're getting this right here, people. But I believe we're going to get an interview with the person that Abdul was just talking about. But that's only on our Patreon.
That might be a Patreon exclusive.
That's a Patreon exclusive. So
yeah, I'm gonna talk to him about coming on, man.
Yeah, so we're gonna include the link to Patreon. I mean, listen, folks, we're kind of being forced to do Patreon now. You know what I'm saying? It's just like podcasting is a very real business, and we don't take it serious, but we kind of have to now. Okay. Man. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to my daughter just got accepted to a very, very expensive summer camp, and we're about to monetize this Patreon. I'm about to tell y'all that right fucking now. So
let's go.
I mean, we're gonna monetize this podcast. So
we're on our third year of doing podcasts.
Though. Yeah, I was wondering, I was thinking like, we're at episode 158, so when we hit 160, we may have to break it up. You know what I'm saying? Like, oh,
Explain. What do you mean?
season 4. You know what I'm saying? Like the
Ooh,
vibes.
okay.
The vibe. Because we just be like episode, no, we gotta be like season 4, episode 14.
Sure. Yeah. Let
The
them know what time
vibe.
it is.
You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? Like, it's just
Yeah.
because, it's just like, oh, y'all are like, yeah, we're down, we're about it. Like, we're really
Nah,
about this.
listen,
You know what I'm saying?
158 episodes in the can. That's
So season 160 will kick off season 4. You know what I'm saying? Because that'll just be like, oh, we did like, I don't know, 80 episodes or whatever it is. Make it work. 65 episodes. But just know the
40
Patreon
episodes a year. 40
the
episodes a year.
Patreon is about to be very, very, very official.
Yeah.
Shrewer Eddie is gonna contribute in the only way he can.
Him at Silent Time. You might be able to hear some of Silent Time's exclusive beats on
his beats,
Patreon.
yeah. Do some either him or
you
Chef,
music lovers.
or Chef Lindo, one of those.
Yeah, or if you're up and coming rapper and you need some
chill.
Listen, hey, join the Patreon. All right, you get some exclusive beats on there. So, yeah, man, I'm with it.
So episode 158, season 3, episode 116. Shout out to a fellow Whats'a Podcast alumni, Panama Jackson. He is just a elite writer. He is just
also a former guest on the show.
Yeah, that's what I said. Alumni. Whats'a Podcast alumni.
Oh yeah,
but he's an elite writer. He's an elite voice in the Black community.
Yeah,
he has a podcast that is about Don King, and Abdul's gonna drop knowledge.
Yeah. Yo, actually, I just started listening to this podcast today. It's season 3 of the podcast Power, which I think every season they kind of go into a different character or a different personality and kind of do a full deep dive into that individual. I started listening to the season 1 of it, which was they talked about Ghislaine Maxwell, and if you remember who that is, it's the sick woman who was Jeffrey Epstein's kind of co-conspirator in like abusing, sexually assaulting young women and underage women, and so it was about her life and how she grew up, and so it popped up on my feed that there's a new season of Power out, and it's about Don King. So I was like, oh shit. I've always been curious about Don King. I don't know a whole lot about him other than, he's probably one of like the only boxer promoters I've ever heard of or that I know by name. Like, if you think about it, like, what other boxing promoter do we know by name? I'm going to say nobody. De La Hoya. Well, now we know De La Hoya.
Oh, yeah.
But you know what I'm saying? Like,
when there's a named Bob something?
Bob something. But that's what we know him by is Bob something.
Yeah, for sure.
He's like the big dog. Bob Rand or something like that. I forget his name. I see his face in my mind now. But Don King has always been an electrifying personality, and I've always been a little bit curious about him. So I started listening to the first episode, and come to find out, the dude hosting the podcast and doing the whole story on Don King is our friend Panama Jackson.
Side note, Bob Arum.
Bob Arum.
Yep.
I think I called him something else. But yeah, Bob Arum. Yeah. So it's really, really good. The first episode obviously talks a lot about Don King's start because he was a nightclub owner and he ran numbers in Cleveland. And you know what I'm saying? So how he parlayed that into becoming a boxing promoter. Really, really incredible story, man. So I started that on my run this morning, and so I'm gonna go through the whole season, man. I think it's pretty interesting. So, and if you're a boxing fan, or you don't even have to be a boxing fan, shout out to Panama Jackson, man. So
shout out to Panama Jackson. Make sure we tag him on this. Nike revenue for Q3 of last year, $10.9 billion. They dominated the list of top global brands. Excuse me, $16.3 billion from direct-to-consumer revenue, aka sneakers app. $6.8 billion from Nike.com.
Yeah.
3.6 billion from Asia Pacific and Latin America footwear revenue, and 507 million from North American equipment revenue. So I mean, they just
Crazy.
I think the thing is you got to keep your eye on Nike.com. Though they had some kids dunks. I don't know if you saw them. They had kids dunks up there recently. A couple different colorways, matter of fact. But
Yeah, yo, they had the Uno Air Force Ones on there.
yeah, I mean they've been going crazy, but they just sneak it on Nike.com.
Yeah, they do
to try to get past. You know what I mean? To make sure you're really like
yeah
pledging your allegiance to the brand. You know what I'm saying? So
no, you definitely got to keep an eye on the Nike app, man, because there's some sleepers on there. I mean, White on Whites just restocked a couple of days ago. The Uno Air Force am I saying it right? Uno, right? Yeah, the Uno card game. Yeah, their Air Force Ones just dropped on there. Um, yeah, I mean, listen, I think that those numbers, the direct to consumer numbers, is the reason why we're seeing so many mom and pop stores going out of getting their Nike account yanked from them, and that number is just so high that Nike has just made an executive decision that this is going to be the way that they want to go in the future, is just more direct to consumer, get rid of the middle guy, and just taking that whole cake.
Yeah, that sucks. That sucks, though.
It does suck.
That sucks because, the days of walking into a store and seeing 12 pairs of shoes on the wall and you're only getting one are super long gone, right? Like, we used to be able to walk in and see Jordans over here, Dunks over here, maybe some Pennies, some Barclays, some Bo Jacksons, whatever the case may be.
Everything
now you
is
walk
going online.
And like the amount of when you go to Tyson's and walk into a Foot Action down there, this shit on the wall is just trash. Like, it's just not appealing in any way, shape, or form. Even to me, the premium, like the better basketball shoes or the better running shoes, all that stuff is on Nike.com now.
Yeah.
Like, it's no longer in the mall. Like, you know what I'm saying? Or you're better off going to an outlet to try to find something to just get more bang for your buck.
Sure.
That you can just like beat to shreds. But you're like, hey man, I only paid $65 for these joints. You know what I'm saying? Like,
and even like Nike trying to build their own like retail experience through like the Nike stores and stuff like that. I mean, I recently went inside the Nike store in Georgetown, and I mean, it's complete trash. So they're completely focused on making everything either exclusively online, or because even their experience that they're providing through these brick and mortar locations is terrible. There's nothing in there. Yeah.
Shout out to our
unless you're a runner. Like, I mean, I can go in there and go get my Alpha Flies, which
at the Nike store in Georgetown.
At the Nike store in Georgetown.
Yeah. But I also feel like they understand that running in DC is very important. So you need to have a place to do that. You know what I'm saying?
I mean, if you're gonna be like, all right, fine, I'm gonna be direct to consumer, and this is gonna be the way I'm gonna go. Like, build up your brick and mortar places so it's a little bit more exciting. Like, so I want to be able to get like top tier product through that, tell the story, which is what they use boutiques for. I mean, boutiques have historically been the places that tell the real story of a sneaker coming out. And
correct.
I've always loved that, man. That's going to be missing in the game. Definitely it's going to be gone.
It just gets more rare on a consistent basis. You know what I mean? And I think you have to support and really be a part of the communities at the stores that have Nike accounts. And the stores have to do a good job of like you said, explaining the story to people and not just looking to sell through, but like actually getting them on the right people. Like, shout out to our guy Chasen Ross, Sole Priorities #1 employee. What did he hit us with today? He said that the Bo Jacksons landed
Auburn trainers.
The Bo Jackson trainers landed down there in
the orange and blue.
DTLR in where's he at? Charlotte area, North Carolina.
Raleigh, whatever.
Raleigh,
Carolina.
It's all 85, 95.
Yeah.
So shout out to the homie for spreading that knowledge.
I think orange and blue Auburn trainer might be top 5 colorways on a Nike shoe.
Listen, if you can get that, some light blue jeans and a real nice crew neck to go with it.
You think that's a jean shoe? It's more of a shorts shoe.
Nah, because to me it's like a mid shoe.
Yeah.
So for me, I need that light blue jean to sit on it a certain way.
Okay.
With the proper orange crew neck.
Jeans to shoe ratio got to be right.
Yeah, got to be right. You know what I'm saying? And like, when you're doing too much with a Mets fitted though, that's too much.
Nah, you don't want to be overly matchy.
That's some New York shit though.
That's some New York shit, circa 1998.
That's Papoose in 2022 though.
Oh, respectfully.
I'm just saying he still got the oversized fitted.
You know what? That's Joel Santana definitely today.
Yeah,
him, Jim Jones, they're still on the match
with his new teeth. You know.
Yeah. He's got a new lisp too with that teeth. It's not cool. The lisp got to go. I don't know why he decided to do the teeth thing, man.
What's the podcast? Episode 158, season 3, episode 19. Oh my God. So
went to jail. He didn't realize he had a gun on him at the airport.
Bandana Santana.
That's all because of the fucking teeth, man.
There is a phenomenal tour that was announced this week. So obviously, you know what I'm saying? We here with the podcast. We jumped the gun, right? We said, Nas and Hov show coming to VA. We jumped the gun, but we weren't 100% wrong. Instead of Nas and Hov, there's Nas and Wu-Tang that are going to be on tour. Weirdly enough, there is no stop in DC proper.
Or Baltimore.
It's actually in Bristow, Virginia.
What is Bristow, Virginia?
It's like somewhere off of 66, I think.
What's a Bristow? Like, I don't even.
It's out the way. It's a definite no for me. Like, I would go to Virginia Beach before I go to Bristow.
Or like Newark.
Yeah, or Newark. Yeah, but because there's no proper show in New York City either.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
It's going to be New Jersey State of Mind for Nas.
Clearly, I mean, they all
Bristow State of Mind.
They all live in probably Jersey as it is. So, I mean,
yeah.
Yo, if you did not know, so first of all, okay, you really got to be a classic for this one. If you've ever seen Redman's MTV Cribs, do you remember Redman's MTV Cribs?
Yes, of course.
Do you know
with
he
the
still
doorbell?
lives there?
The doorbell was hanging off the side.
He still lives there to this day.
You're kidding me.
That's
amazing.
He did an Instagram live from it, and he did an Instagram live from his house, and somebody pointed out like his kitchen. They're like, wait, he has the same kitchen from MTV Cribs, and they put a side by side thing of his cribs and that screenshot from his live.
You know what?
Same crib.
I think I did know that because I remember him. They brought that topic up on Rest in Peace Combat Jack on his podcast when Redman was a guest, and I think he did say he still lives there.
Yeah.
But it was a townhouse. I mean, it looked nice, but you know, I'm hoping he's modernized it a little bit.
You know, I think
yes, it's the same.
It's the same.
Redman by now has a wife and a family and kids.
I think he always had kids. I don't know if he ever had a wife per se. I mean, Redman's definitely in his early to mid 50s as a rapper, still getting busy. You know what I'm saying? And so,
yeah,
I think he still has the wherewithal to do his thing. But who knows, man? I'm not sure. About that.
Redman is probably going crazy today on 420.
Oh yeah, he's been high. Every day is 420 for him though. So it doesn't really matter.
Yeah.
So we'll see what happens with this Wu-Tang and Nas show. I'm just really disappointed that they didn't hit DC proper or New York City proper. Like, to me, you can't have a tour called New York State of Mind and not be in New York. It just doesn't make sense.
Yeah. I've been a little bit disappointed by these artists choosing not to have shows in DC, man. I mean, Push put out some dates and skipped us. Like, come on, man. You lived here, bro.
Speaking of Push.
Tell me, what's up?
That album is fantastic.
I haven't listened to it yet.
Oh,
but the release date is coming, right? It's tomorrow.
It's Friday. I got the advanced copy. You know what I'm saying? Like the quality, it's good. It's a really, really good album. Like,
I'm excited.
I like the Neptune side a bit more the Neptunes produced side a bit more than the Kanye produced side,
Of course.
but the Kanye it's not Donda Kanye on the production. It's good Kanye, you know what I'm saying? But the Neptune side is just stellar. I mean, a couple of those records, man, some of those stories he's telling. 757, that record Brambleton is stellar. I mean, it's just it's good. The actual
He
listen
got
party
in his bag, huh?
yeah, the listen party is going on right now in New York City. Shout out to my guy Chase B. He's DJing it. Pusha tweeted that Chase B is DJing it. So it's just a matter of once it finally lands, I think folks are gonna really enjoy it because Pusha did his thing. He definitely
and I think the rollout has been great, man. The anticipation, he somehow managed to really build anticipation at a time where it's so hard to do for artists.
Particularly artists like him who don't do like radio stuff. You know what I mean?
And he managed to do it like in a really respectful and honorable way, which is not too different from who he is. You know what I mean? I mean, he was on Jesus and Mero. I watched that. But even just like the way he's dropped the songs, right? Key songs with key people in it, has been really helpful in the rollout. But Push, you gotta have a DC date, man. Now my only hope is that Something in the Water, maybe Push is performing there, and that's happening here.
I mean, I 100% believe he's doing that, right? So
yeah,
we just got to find out, when what specifically he's doing for Something in the Water, and then it'll be a go. You know what I'm saying?
We got to be on that VIP list. That Push, come on.
I mean, listen,
for real,
there's a lot going on that week. So I
need to
lunch.
be on. We need to be on.
I had lunch with somebody today who's very close to those guys, and he's like, "Yo, it's gonna be something special." So, I've been having a lot of lunches lately. I like
what's
that.
up with that? Business lunches.
Yeah. And I mean, these niggas know who I am.
You got to start putting that on Instagram so people think that you're always busy.
I mean, I am, but you know what I'm saying? Like,
but that's become a thing. People always like to know that you're in meetings.
I know, because I was like, you know what? Let's go to Taqueria Habanero, which is great. I love that place.
Oh, nice, fire.
So, but I took a picture, but I forgot to like upload it at the like.
Yeah, you got to be able to post and be like in a meeting.
Yeah. Well, you know how I feel about you guys, so it's not. I'm
not. Yo, also speaking of Wu-Tang and the Nas tour coming along, I think we just got to figure out where we're gonna go, and then we got to press our guy Modi, who just got elected or nominated. He's on the board of Live Nation. You know what I'm saying?
Congrats to Modi. I saw that announcement on.
Congrats to our guy Modi, man.
I definitely pressed out. I didn't press out. I definitely hit up another mutual friend that we have.
Okay.
For tickets to the Pusha show in New York City, though. So.
Okay.
I'm running on fumes with Live Nation right now. We'll see if.
Let me get this right. Modi is now a Live Nation Next Gen Advisory Board member.
So he pretty much explained that they are trying to help shape and mold the next generation of Black and Brown festival throwers.
Yes.
So, because if you don't know who Modi is, he was a part of the team Trelectro, rest in peace, Spicoli. Along with Spicoli and Marcel. And so Modi, Marcel, and Quinn in 2011 or 12, I believe, put together the first Trelectro.
It might have been even before that. It might have been.
No. It wasn't. Okay. I think it was 11 because I remember vividly.
Created Trelectro.
Yeah, they created Trelectro, and they just were able to kind of catch the end of the blog era, when rappers were rapping over, just interesting beats, and a young A$AP Ferg, a young Kendrick Lamar.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So Modi has since been in LA as a music industry executive. And I believe that he is now taking on this conversation, this new role, this new team, this new appointment to help, and I think that's great. You know what I'm saying? There's a million festivals out here nowadays, and it's great to be involved in them, but I think a lot of times you see them that don't have the proper representation for women. the proper representation for minorities and the proper representation for minority women. So, but a lot of that starts with the event throwers. So if the event throwers understand the need for proper representation, then they're going to showcase that. So I say all that to say, shout out to Modi and his
Yeah,
team.
and the fact that he's doing that for the next generation of kids is really fantastic, because them motherfuckers created Trelectro when they were barely out of their teens. I think, I mean, Modi's got to be in his super early 30s right now. So they might have been doing that at like 19 or 20 years old when they first created Trelectro.
I think they were probably like 20, 21, 22.
Something like that. So
maybe a little older.
Yeah, I think if there's one person that can teach like the next generation hands-on how to do something like that, build a whole festival and a successful festival, who else but somebody who actually did it, not just once, not just twice, but numerous times.
For sure.
Yeah, so I think that's fire, man. Congratulations, bro.
Want to see those guys win. You know,
we got to get Modi on the podcast too. That's going to be a Patreon episode as well, man.
Yeah,
because he's been, we've already talked about it. He's down to come on. Modi is home team.
So Modi will be Patreon. Authentic, that might just be a regular.
Yeah, we might do that. You know what? Maybe Modi might be a regular one too. Honestly,
and then your guy will be a Patreon.
That might be a Patreon. That one's definitely going to be a Patreon. Exclusive. I think Modi might have a lot of gems that will fall in line with what he's doing in this new role, which would be helpful for the youth. Them. So
yeah,
so we might put that out. But yeah, I remember Modi as a kid, man. I remember him 16, 17 years old. And now, he's grown into this young man and doing his thing. It makes me proud to see, you know what I'm saying? Kids like that I've seen come up and really grind and hustle the way that they have and make something really big of themselves. I think that's dope.
Yeah, I mean, listen, man, shout out to everybody who was just what I was explaining to my friend that we had lunch with today was, we're of the age now where a lot of the people who are movers and shakers in the entertainment industry are our peers. They're people they're people who we partied with, went to concerts with, you know what I'm saying, just was in sneaker lines with. So if you go to LA and if you go to these meetings at these record labels, you're gonna see faces
that
people that you know. And so at that point, it's up to you to fine tune your talent, to be direct, to not rely on your friendship to get you, you know what I'm saying, the big bucks and the opportunities. It's like, yo, I know you, and we can go get a beer after this.
Yeah.
But in the meantime, let me explain why I need Darla and Nikki to do 52 dates on this thing. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So, it's awesome to see people grow and mature and take on new positions. I mean, I think a lot of it, DC breeds a lot of incredible talent.
Yeah.
But also just our network of friends is almost second to none when you look at the placement in the music industry, in the fashion industry. We all just know heavy hitters and people who make things happen,
Man, it's good to see this next generation just kind of taking charge too, man. I went to a pop-up at Eaton House on Saturday. Shout out to Marino Infantry, ASAP Ant, my man Soda. These kids are from Baltimore, man, and just kind of made up their own rules and created such a huge following. And their model is completely different from anything else I've seen, dog. They create these shirts. Well, first of all, they go city to city and do pop-ups every week, and they put out merch and shirts for each one of those cities, and that's it. Once that sells out, it's gone. So they put out a MLK shirt as well as a Michael Jordan Wizards t-shirt and hoodies for the DC pop-up, which was this past Saturday. And dog, when I tell you that I showed up and the line was around the corner, I mean, I was just like, what the fuck is going on? Like, seriously? Like, this is how y'all are doing it? And that's what happens in every city that they go to, man. So
they had a pop-up.
They got a pop-up way?
No, they had one on 14th Street.
I remember that. couple of years ago.
No. Earlier this year.
Last year. It was last year.
Maybe it was late last year.
Yeah. I remember.
That line stretched from them to us.
Yeah, which is a block and a half.
Block and a half away.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Busy day. Colonizers looking real scared. Who are all these kids of color standing in line? And they're supremely talented. Their hustle is amazing.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying. Like again, like you said, the product is very limited. They're very smart with what they do. So, I shout out to those guys. They're just
shout out to them.
They got the hustle down.
And it's just you don't have to rely on traditional models anymore. If you find a way, and as much as I don't actually shit on social media that much, but a lot of people do. You got to find a way to where you can actually somehow take advantage of some of the resources it provides. And I think they've figured out a clever way to market themselves, especially if that's what you want to do, right? Like you can really use some of those tools and market yourself properly and align with some of the right people and put out dope product. Yeah, I mean, I was just super impressed, and I fuck with those kids, man. I fuck with them.
Shout out
heavy.
To I don't know if you know. Do you know Damon DeGraff?
I don't think so.
Okay, so Damon DeGraff is a friend of Clarence. He's Clarence's man. He's Steve's man. But his partner. Damon has a partner. Is Kenny Mack.
Oh yeah, I know Kenny for a long time.
Yeah, so Kenny Mack, Damon, and their other partner, they're like DJs down. They have like kind of like a little sound crew.
Okay,
but they just did an incredible activation at Coachella with Soho House.
Yes.
Their group is called No Man Curse.
Yes,
and they absolutely killed it. It was just phenomenal. Like again, to see people of color, activating. And Coachella's always had black artists, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But to see that, I know a lot of people they don't even go for the concert. They just go for all the activations that go around. And
sure.
To see Kenny and Damon and the rest of those guys kill it was just phenomenal, bro. It was super duper, super tight. Soho House, branded all their stuff and like looked really good. Yeah, it looked really awesome, man. So shout out to Damon. I'll make sure we tag him.
Yeah, I've been to and they might do parties like once a month at Soho House in LA, because when I was there last, I went to one of the functions. Super dope event. The party was dope, food was great, and now I've known Kenny's from here. I've known Kenny for a very, very, very long time, since the 1900s.
1900s.
So
episode
shout out to Kenny, man.
Episode 158 was a podcast. Season 3, episode 94. We gotta give it context. This is an interesting development. There is a movie by Matt Damon and Ben Affleck. And I guess it focuses on the start of Nike, but specifically the time in which Nike was trying to sign Michael Jordan. To Nike. Yeah. So it's going to be interesting who's Phil Knight and who isn't.
Actually, it says Ben Affleck is going to play Phil Knight.
Okay, boom.
And Matt Damon is going to play Sonny Vaccaro, who was the guy, the agent, but the Nike dude who signed Michael Jordan, as well as a ton of other people, including the Nike basketball stuff that was done with high schools and colleges, and John Thompson and at Georgetown. Sonny Vaccaro was responsible for bringing those people onto Nike. Like all of those programs were brought in by Sonny. UNLV, remember that? Jerry Tarkanian.
Yeah, for
back
sure.
in the day. John Thompson at Georgetown. What was some Villanova, whoever that coach was? All these places became Nike programs because of Sonny Vaccaro. So wow, okay, I'm gonna be watching this movie. I'm excited. And Matt Damon and Ben Affleck together, they don't really miss.
They haven't missed in a while. I would really love. I doubt they'll get to it, but I would love to see if the movie gets to the point where Sonny Vaccaro leaves Nike and goes to Adidas, though.
Yes, because he
I
was
think that might
also
be in the
brought Kobe.
'90s, though.
He also might have brought Kobe to
Right.
Adidas,
That's what I'm
right?
saying. So that might be part two of the movie, though,
You're
if they
right.
can,
Yeah.
if they can get some sort of understanding with the Bryant
Yeah,
family,
yeah, yeah,
because
yeah,
that would
yeah.
be incredible to understand how he went from Nike right hand man to the big dog at Adidas. Like that would be
Yeah.
incredible. So shout out to that movie. We will see it. You know what
We're
I'm
gonna be
saying?
seeing that.
We'll get the media pass. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
That's my
we'll be at
goal.
the
The
red
premiere.
carpet. Yeah, the
Yeah,
premiere.
yeah. We'll be at the
Yeah.
premiere, and we'll make sure that everybody gets a good
Any sneakers coming out
understanding
that
of
you
it.
want to fuck with? Speaking of Nike.
I don't have my phone, but I was about to say there was an event in Atlanta at A Ma Maniere. It
Okay.
was a Joe Freshgoods event.
Okay.
Shout out to my guy DJ Chubby Swag. He DJ'd it, and there was some videos showed your man Free Game James Whitner with with
My man.
with
Okay.
with Joe Freshgoods just speaking about his importance to do his conversation in a black city.
Okay.
He definitely
I'm with
was.
that.
You know what I'm saying? Atlanta is a black city, and he just said how important it was for him to do there and touch the people, and what I'm saying, all that kind of. Um,
Okay. I think I know what you're talking
yeah,
about.
yeah,
He's
it's a
been
cool
doing
little
that
video. Conversations
us.
amongst, yeah, that,
They
yeah,
did it
was
in at Concepts in Boston.
okay.
And yeah, no, I mean, listen, I agree with what James Whitner said there. I mean, I think Joe has been really good with just making sure he's representing, you know, us, you know what I'm saying? And
Right.
as a whole in everything he does. So um yo, and have you ever heard him talk? He's very inspirational and can get you going, dog. Like, you know what I mean? If I can see myself, if I was a young kid and kind of wanted to be in that creative space, whether it's sneakers or designing clothes or all of these things, I could really get a boost from listening to somebody like Joe. He's very good at that. Which is you look for in leaders, right? I think it's important for leaders to be able to motivate you, and as well as back it up by doing everything that they're talking about. And listen, he's done all of it, man. You know, all speaking of pop-ups, when we talk about Merino Infantry, listen, Joe had a history of doing that with his brands and just going on pop-ups in different cities and things like that. So yeah, I mean he's very good at what he does, and I'll fuck with those 550s, man. I was able to grab a pair, luckily.
I mean, I'm a 550 dude, so like that's
Yeah,
to me that's the new dunk. So I really rock with them as well.
yeah,
I you know I appreciate what Joe Freshgoods does. I haven't tapped in with the brand so much, but I see his hustle and I see what he's doing, and you got to salute it. You know what I mean? You just mentioned Boston. Shout out to Boston. Shout out to former What's a Podcast alumni,
yeah.
God's favorite DJ, DJ
Wait.
Clark Kent.
Oh, okay. I thought we would talk about Big Dave Ostroff finishing the Boston
Oh, we'll talk
Marathon.
about that. I don't
All
know.
right,
But there
let's
was,
talk about Clark Kent. Go, go,
but New
go.
Balance just unveiled the track at New Balance, I believe, which is like
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
a premium training facility.
yeah.
And so I believe Clark DJ
Yes, he did.
it was like Jack Harlow, this woman DJ Millie, and then Clark. And
I thought I was gonna get the invite with Clark to go up there with him, but my management rights have been revoked.
yo, that would have been a solid
Come on, man.
pull up.
I thought about it as I saw Clark up there. I'm like, wait, my kids are on spring break. They're already away with their mother. I'm home alone. Yeah, this would have been
You should have
amazing.
just took the flight.
I didn't even know. I would have taken the flight.
It's a quick flight too.
It's
You
a
could
quick 45-minute flight. I'm
yeah,
like,
you
Clark,
could have
I'll
left.
meet you there.
You could have left DC at 3 and been there by 4. Easy.
Clark, I'm gonna meet you there, and then I'm gonna ride back home with you. All right. Yeah.
Good show. Stop by Concepts real quick. See what's good.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But needless to say, man, that looks super
Nah,
duper
that should
dope.
look tight.
But yeah,
Shout out to our guy Clark. Shout out to Kirk Taylor, local DC guy who's now with does entertainment marketing for New Balance. Good dude as well.
Yeah, good dude.
Kirk, you got to put us on the list, man. Stop playing. Like
Absolutely.
This podcast needs to be a New Balance sponsored podcast.
We are going to. We might do a little clip of this part just so that he sees it because
you got to see this, dog.
I see Kirk, I see him in the streets too much, and I'm just like, I need some New
Balance. From here, we're from here, like what.
I think
New Balances mean to this city.
I think he got Dave some shoes recently too. You know what I'm saying? Like he
Dave
got
who?
He got Big Dave some shoes. Yeah. Kirk got Big Dave some shoes.
Yeah, I think Dave ran in them. In
shout out
Boston Marathon.
Shout out to our guy Big Dave Ostroff, aka
also Whats'a podcast alumni.
Also Whats'a podcast alumni, aka the Jewish Jordan. And
wait, he gave himself that name.
Nah, we gave it to him last week or 2 weeks ago. 2 weeks ago, because
the Jewish Jordan,
Jewish Jordan, Tamir Goodman. And but yeah, man, I mean, our homie Dave raised over 12 G's. He was on the Tom Brady running team. So, you know what I'm saying? Like
completed the marathon.
Completed. So when you do that, right? When do you go running again though? Like you took something like a day or two off?
Or you gotta definitely take
do you take like 5-6 days off, or do you gotta go right back at it? You know,
you don't have to go right back at it, but it just depends, man. I mean, I think the more days you take off, honestly, for me, it could hurt me. I've never run 26 miles, so I can't really say what my body's gonna feel like afterwards. But I have run 14, and I took the next day off. But that's also almost half of what Dave ran, right? So I can see him taking off. He hasn't been active though. He's been at home because we follow each other on Strava, and
he hasn't been doing much.
He's been quiet.
Yeah.
I talked to him after that. He said it was the hardest thing he's ever done in his life.
No, I saw one guy on Twitter said that he made it to mile 25.
No.
And then he said, not quit. Dave, but another guy.
Yeah,
he
said, he quit.
He made it to mile. The last thing he remembered was making it to mile 25. Next thing you know, he woke up in the hospital.
He collapsed.
He said he like ran off course, and somehow they got him to a tent.
Oh,
and then,
shit!
And then like his body kind of just gave out on it.
They said failed on.
They said he was disoriented. Like he said, somebody in the comments was like, "Bro, wow. I ran past you, and you were looking disoriented." He said, but because we were so close to the end, he was like, I was hoping you would make it. That's what a dude in the comments said to him. I said, damn, bro, you made it 25 bro. 26 miles.
That sucks. I'll be sick too.
I'd rather blow out a knee at
mile 10.
Mile 4. Yeah. Like, fuck
it. Yo, let me get this shit over with quickly. Yeah.
That's some bullshit though.
That is some bullshit.
Shout out to anybody that takes part in the marathon, man. Oh, listen. I put my man Don't Charge Abdul up on the game. Hopefully we get a report next week about his new status with the Nike running. You know what I'm saying? Like, we'll see if that comes through. Is that gonna come through?
I don't think so. We'll see.
We'll have an update next week for y'all, man.
All
hopefully we'll have something. Something to speak about. Something that we can relate to y'all. So
shout out to God's favorite DJ. Shout out to Dave Ostroff.
Any new sneakers? I don't know if there's any new sneakers. I don't really.
I don't know, man. It's not a whole lot that's really exciting me. Have you seen these Mocha Jordan 3s with like the midsole is kind of pinkish? It's supposed to be like a ice cream something, but they look like Mocha 3s.
I don't need those.
I'm good on those. New Balance, we talked about that. Listen, New Balance is heating up. You seen the new colors of the protection pack?
Yeah, I have. Oh, you know what? We actually, my bad. I'm looking at Nike.com. They got the white and navy blue dunk highs for kids, but they're all sold out.
Oh, great.
And they're up to a 7Y.
That's where we at now. That's
we're gonna the sizes. We're going to have to find the days that they drop, because I think they're dropping on a certain day. Like if you type in dunk, it just gives you the whole.
Yeah.
They had the black. They have a black and white high as well. That has a ton of sizes left. People not rocking with these apparently.
I mean, they've been comparing those black and white Panda dunks to like white Air Forces now. Like they're saying that's the new white Air Force.
They've got a white and purple dunk high.
Those look good
for kids. Yeah,
I have seen that one.
Yeah, so again, man, the Nikes that I want to at this point, I just want retros from 1995. Like I don't
Yeah,
want anything.
I really like those. Drake has it almost looks like a Zoom 95 Jason
The
the Kid.
Jason Kids, yeah,
It
it's
kind of looks like that,
it's his shoe though, right? It's his
right,
shoe.
it's going to be an OVO version of that shoe, which those look good, man. I like those a lot. I'm going to be grabbing those. I really like Drake's white on white Air Forces. I need a pair of those. Yeah, I mean, like we've talked about on previous episodes, man, the 40-year anniversary has been fairly disappointing so far as an anniversary goes. Um, I went to I've talked about Paul Blinken on this show before. Paul Blinken is the owner, used to be the owner of a very known sneaker store here, well, not here, but in Baltimore, called Cinderella Shoes. Um, and it was a spot I went to as a kid, man. Since I was like 15 or 16 years old, I used to go in there and shop and cop heavy. And so I've known Paul for a long time. And, we kind of lost track of each other for like 15, 20 years, but then reconnected at 2017 when I saw him and Nike had painted a mural on the side of his store for the 35th anniversary of the Air Force One. Yeah. But anyway, Paul had a birthday party in Bmore this past Friday night. And shout out to my guy Boost Global, who owns a sneaker laundry in Bmore. And he was like, yo, Paul said to invite you. Come on out. And so I was like, oh shit. So I'm thinking, oh, it's a birthday party. Yeah, I'm gonna go, man. Are you kidding me? Like, yo, this is my guy. Took care of me as a kid. I'm gonna go, of course. It's probably gonna be something small, like light, you know what I mean? Dog, I'm telling you, I pulled up to this venue and it was at the Patapsco Hall in Bmore, and it looked like I was pulling up to Dream at like Howard Homecoming. Yo, the line was like 3 blocks long to get in, and it was like a whole like people. You had to have a ticket, and it was this whole thing. And I'm just like, what the fuck is going on? Like, how did I not know any of this? But it was thousands of people in there, man. Everybody, the whole city came out to show Paul love, and it was incredible to see that. Mind you, Paul Blinken is Mr. Paul is a white guy in the middle of Park Heights. You know what I'm saying? He's in the middle of the hood, set up shop and opened a store there. But he always showed the neighborhood love, and people loved him. And so I wasn't that surprised to see that many people came out for him. But at the same token, that store's been closed for a very, very long time, knocking on 20 years, if not more. So I'm like, yo, people still like rock with him like that. So that was very impressive to see. So happy birthday, Mr. Paul. I'll see you on the next birthday, bro. He was in there getting busy though. Like he was going
active.
in. He was active. Like,
listen, man.
Yeah.
Shout
out to Paul, man.
Yeah, shout out to Paul. Real quick, what has Abdul been watching?
Yo, I started this series on Apple TV called Suspicion. It looks like it's a new series based in the UK, and actually based here in New York as well. Some faces you're probably going to recognize. Uma Thurman is in it. If you remember Uma Thurman, she was from Kill Bill. An older Uma Thurman now. But it's about Uma Thurman's son gets kidnapped, and she's a very powerful lady. And then, she has some sketchy things in her past. And the kidnappers demand her to disclose all of that stuff. And, it's very interesting. The first episode really got me locked in, but as I started watching it and 3 or 4 episodes in, I'm like, yo, they're losing me, man. The story's just going on way too long. But at that point I was super committed to the whole series, right? At this point I gotta finish the whole thing, even though I don't really fuck with it. So I'm almost done with that one. This Is Us, the final season. I got one episode to catch up on. I actually went on Apple TV to go start watching the WeWorks show that they have. And I ended up watching Suspicion. So I'm going to start the WeWorks show after this, after I'm done with Suspicion. Snowfall is still on. Snowfall is very, very good this season. Yeah, I mean, that's really been it, man.
Again, man, for anybody out there, if you haven't had a chance to watch Abbott Elementary, it's on hiatus now, but it's you can
very good. They got signed for a new season.
Good. Yeah, they did. It's a great show. What else is out there? I forget. It was something else TV wise, but Winning Time. Winning Time is controversial now because they portrayed Jerry West, who is a NBA executive. I believe he's with the Clippers now.
And Jerry West,
who used to be on the Lakers, yeah.
Isn't he the logo of the
he's
of
the
NBA
logo, yeah. He didn't like how he was portrayed on Winning Time, and thus
he was like the GM of the Lakers at one time too, I think.
Yeah, he wants a retraction and an apology from the show. So Winning Time is a hit. It's a hit TV show out there. Make sure you check that out. In music, I mean, really, it's about this Pusha. This Pusha will be here.
Pusha T, come on the show, please.
Yeah, this Pusha will be here a day after you hear this. You know what I'm saying, or 24 hours after you hear this, whatever. 18 hours.
Is he coming in? Is he going to be here?
No, he won't be in DC no time.
Oh, okay. You're saying the album will be here.
The album will be here. Yeah.
Yes. Yeah, okay.
Push is a fantastic artist. You know what I'm saying? Good dude. I think we've had multiple interactions. Shout out to our guy Dre the Mayor. And
I'm actually going to Virginia Beach tomorrow.
Oh, I'm going next week. Or how long you staying?
Just for the day.
You're bugging. Well, you should hit Eric, see if you can go see the new shop.
Shout out to our guys. Business to take care of down there.
Shout out to our guys. Thank You Gallery down there in Virginia Beach. Doty, our guy E Got the Jazz. They're opening their second venue together. So this is Thank You Gallery, which is an art gallery and a retail space and a coffee shop all in one, right on the beach. So,
fire.
I was in the store last month as they were setting up. Fire.
Okay.
They carry a bunch of really dope brands. Yeah, you should pull up on them.
Yeah, I'm gonna check it out when I'm out there.
Pull up on them. I know they're not open, but pull up on them. And if you're in Norfolk, go to Thank You Bar. I've rocked out there twice. It's amazing. Darling Nikki at Thank You Bar, Friday, May 27th. So, you know what I'm saying? We got a nice little Virginia Beach takeover for the Memorial Day weekend.
Okay.
So,
all right.
Yeah, man. Episode 158, season 3, episode 1, episode 17. What's the podcast? Shout out to our guy, always available, hashtag Streetwear Eddie.
Yeah.
Shout out to super producer
Eddie will be back next week.
We hope, yes.
We hope. You're right.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? But he will be. He will be, matter of fact. He will be. Shout out to our guy, always available, hashtag Streetwear Eddie, super producer Tom Lim. Don't Charge Abdul. I am DJ Jerome Baker III. Make sure you leave a comment, rate, subscribe on the YouTube. YouTube's great.
As well as Apple Podcast.
Spotify. And when you see us post on the gram, jump in the conversation, man. We had a really good, lively discussion with people who just cared about sneakers as much as we do. It was awesome to see.
Or just life.
Yeah, but it was just awesome to see people really chimed in on when they thought part of their lives got ruined. So come to Darling Nikki next Wednesday. You know what I'm saying? It is what it is. We're out. Peace.
Rest in peace, K. Slay. Happy 20th anniversary to Leaders in Chicago, by the way. We out.